Stylist from iwant.com.au, and this video is to help show you how to hang groupings of paintings easily and to maximum effect. There are three main points to follow when you're hanging a grouping like this. One is positioning, the other is no straight lines, and the other is diversity. So I'm going to create three other gallerias to illustrate each point, and hopefully by the end of it you'll feel really confident about hanging your own galleria. Right, let's get started. Okay, first tip, positioning. We're going to start with a smaller version and then extend it. So for now, let's pretend that the wall stops around about here. So what you've got is the chair and the occasional table and lamp quite close together. So if you look at the space behind it, that creates a bit of a V on the wall. So that's what we want to take into account when we're positioning the prints. So we'll put a couple of bigger ones along the top, but we'll also bring some smaller ones down into that point of the V. Okay, so we'll do that and then we'll have a chat about it. Pretty good. Now, what you can do is lay them out on the floor and position everything like that, just to see which ones work best together. But whenever I did that, I found that the configuration on the wall was a far cry from the configuration I'd spent forever on the floor. And there's an obvious reason for that. All these things that we need to take into account, the chair, the wall, the lamp, they're not on the floor. So your best bet is always to get your favourite print, the print that you want to have the maximum impact. And you put that smack dab in the centre, or central, so it's got the main focus. So we've got our dancing mama there. Then we've got a slightly calmer one, but just as big on the other side to flank or to end the grouping. And then we've got the two wee Buddhas down in the, or further down into the point of that V that we talked about before. So now what we're going to do is extend the situation and work on a different placement based again on what it's around. So we move this down to about here, okay? And you can see now that you've got obviously a much larger area to fill in and a deeper V as well. So we'll take that into account when we fill them up too. So I'll do that and then we'll have a chat. Okay, so that's the extended version. So you can see what I've done is now that we've got that much larger space in between, I've had to put another centrally focused print there. So again, we've gone for something quite ballsy and big, and that's now the central focus. We've also done the same bit over there, put a fairly, not tame, but a calmer version at the back end just to flank the grouping. And then of course, as I mentioned, we've got a deeper point in that V that we've popped two more of the wee Buddha canvases down the bottom. So, and that's the extended version. So that's all about positioning. Hopefully that's made a lot of sense to you. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, on to no straight lines. Now don't get me wrong, a row of prints in different sizes, different colours, different shapes, where the top of them are all flush in a row or the bottom of them are all flush in a row can look absolutely amazing. And if you want to do it that way, I'll show you how. You get your print or your painting, position it where you want it to be, so let's assume there's another one there that you want it exactly in line with down the bottom. So you make a mark underneath it and then measure from the floor or from whatever flat piece of furniture is underneath it up to the bottom of the canvas. Take the canvas away, turn it around, extend that string to its top point and then take another measurement from the bottom of the canvas to the top of the string. Add that to your original measurement and presto, you should have the picture hanging exactly the right spot. That's never worked for me, ever. So I just say no to straight lines. So what I'm going to do is put a row of pictures up along here and show you how they don't have to be straight. So bear with me. Row of three running on here, and it appears that the two on the outside are in line with each other, but they're not. I mean, I've hung this so I can assure you they're not straight. The canvas is a good half an inch lower. But how I've gotten away with that is by positioning this middle one sort of roughly in the centre between the two, not trying to line it with the top or with the bottom, which helps give the illusion that the other two are actually in line. And then I've added to this illusion just by coming up from below, having the second canvas here as well, bringing that line up and having the photo overlapping it in front. So you see, you don't need a calculator and a measuring tape and 500 hours to make a fun grouping or galleria. Just fudge it. Okay, final grouping and final tip. This is all about diversity. So whether you're hanging a series of 3 or a grouping of 10, you want a really good variety in the pieces that you select. Particularly in a situation like this, where there's quite a lot of points of interest, like here along the floor and with the ladder. So what we want to do is ramp up the space on the wall so that it can compete properly with what's underneath. And how we do that is by making sure that we've got a really good variety in the pieces that we select to pop up there. So I'm going to fill this space and then we'll come back and have a closer look at it all. I did that. But I think we've ended up with a really cool galleria, and as you can see there's a whole lot of variety in here. Not just in the colours, but in the shapes, in the sizes, in the types of frames, in the colours of the frames. And even then, there are no frames. We've also incorporated this really sweet little vintage dragonfly hook and that fabulous cross. And I think it's pieces like this, that are a little bit outside of the square, that can make a busy wall gallery like this really rock. It's your wall, you can put whatever you want up with it, so have fun. Okay, so to finish up, I've applied these 3 tips to each of these wall galleries that we've done, and this one's no exception. So tick yes to diversity, and yes also to no straight lines. There are none here. Look, it may look like the sneakers and the butterflies are in line, but they're not. It's the same trick I've used by hanging the cross down between the two of them. From a positioning perspective, you've only got really low things on the ground here, so we've come a lot lower than we have in any of the others. And this is a pretty tall ladder, so we've gone a lot higher than we have in any of the others as well. So, hopefully, now that you've got the 3 tips under your belt, you're going to feel a lot more confident making your own wall gallery at home. And if not, you're more than welcome to give me a call for a consultation. Thanks for your time.